Hi, good people. Happy Sunday. I'm here with some free and valuable information for you. Information to help you benefit yourself as well as others. Okay? So if you stick with me, time is valuable and so is this information. Okay? So I'm usually here doing videos about things like advanced satellite-based technology, power pyramids, mind control, and all those are very real and very important issues in society right now, especially right now. So I'm a three-dimensional person. Okay, I have many interests, and you know I'm a researcher by nature. So I'm always, you can imagine, I don't just have my sights on one thing, set of facts and information. I'm also, I'm three-dimensional, so I like all different kinds of things. So that's going to be my channel. It's going to have a variety of topics. So today we're going to veer away or steer away from advanced satellite-based technology and a little bit those kind of things that are going on in the world. And we're going to talk more, we're going to bring it closer and talk about relationship kind of stuff. What kind of stuff? Yeah, everybody likes relationships. We all have them. We all want them. Whether they're romantic ones or even regular friendships. So that's today what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about the age-old question of, can guys and girls, men and women, just be friends? Platonic friends, okay? None of that friends with benefit. This ain't that kind of video. If that's what you're looking for, please. I said friends, not that kind of stuff, okay? Let's keep it PG, shall we? Okay, so I've researched it. I always research everything. I've read tons of books on it by relationship experts, therapists, psychotherapists, psychiatrists. They study these things, and therapists see lots of people that come into them with issues, and these are some of the issues that come up, and as humans, we know that, right? Friendships are the crux of society. We all want friends. We all need friends. And sometimes friends can be of the opposite sex, but can that type of friendship platonically work? Okay. Well, let's find out. Yay or nay? I'll tell you what I think based upon my research and my experience. I actually have, some life experiences that I have actually 3 strong examples of male friends that I've had throughout the years, close relationships, and I've learned a lot. So it's wonderful. And there's also a very dark side to having male female friendships. Okay, it's not just all, what do they say, roses and, goodness, I'm tired this morning a little bit, but it's not all peaches and cream. There's some serious dark sides, and yet some safety things that you have to be conscientious of if you're going to embark upon a co-ed friendship. And I'm coughing, just really coughing. I'm not like, it's not symbolic. I'm not hinting. Okay, I'm straight up. Platonic friendships we're talking about. Okay, so please join me while we talk about this, okay? And I'd like to hear your feedback, right? If you guys have had these type of things happen, let me know by the end of the video. What do you think? Yay or nay? Maybe you might think one way in the beginning, and maybe you might think another towards the end. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Okay, at this point, I just want to let you guys know. For those of you who are going to stay, let's vibe and connect. Let's get into this. And I also know that my vibe isn't for everybody. My videos aren't for everybody. That's okay. That's why there's tons of them. When we're talking about friends, right? Friends, relationships. Just like friends and relationships, there's different people on YouTube that you can watch. Okay? So if you don't like this station, turn the station, okay? Feel free. I invite you to leave. If you don't like my info or my vibe, okay? So don't go away, man. Just go away. If you want to stay and troll, that's okay too. At least you're watching. Thank you. That still goes into my little viewer slot. So I thank you. And maybe I can switch you over to the good side, right? Because this station is for good people, not perfect people. Notice I didn't say perfect, okay? I said hi, good people. Meaning if you can have made mistakes and still be here, I get it. We get it. Good people, we get it. All right? So anyways, thanks for watching. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, guys and girls, friends, how many of us have them? Right? It seems so perfect. Guys and girls, it's like the perfect balance. Masculine and feminine, harmonic balance, 2 peas in a pod, right? No competition, and a different perspective. right? For women, what do we say when we have a guy friend? He's like my brother. Who doesn't love their brother, you know? Or if you don't even have a brother, or guys, if you know, she's like my sister, you know, even if you don't have one, like it's, you know, it represents that. Platonic friendships can be wonderful, you know? There's also some there's also some dark side. I'm sorry, I feel like I do that every video. Like it's great, but no, excuse me a minute. Camera's bouncing a little bit because I do have a different seating arrangement. It's not the beanbag anymore, so we're getting better, but it's not, you know, it's an ottoman. I'm sitting on an ottoman. It's a big one. It's a big comfortable one. But there's no back, as you can see, so I'm up against the wall here, and my legs are kind of out in front of me, and this is on my lap, so bear with me. I digress. Who cares, right? Okay, just on with it. Friends. We all need them. We all want them. They make our life worth living, right? We also have a variety of friends, different cultures, different races, right? Different ages, right? We got young friends, old friends, friends our age, different socioeconomic status, right? We have friends with a little bit more money, which is helpful because sometimes, you know, they'll look out for us a little bit, you know, with a meal or something. Then we might have friends from a lower socioeconomic status, in which case we can be those friends to them, right? We can look out for them a little bit, buy them a meal, you know, whatever it is. Hey, my treat today. You know, you need a pack of cigarettes, you need, you know, whatever, I'm just saying, a meal, um, things like that, you know, different, just because somebody's a different socioeconomic status doesn't mean you're not going to get along, right? So, especially in this day and age with social media and everything, we're connecting more with different people from different areas of the world. It's wonderful. So, yeah, so friendships. What about co-ed friendships, right? Co-ed, guys and girls in this world, right? We both live here, men and women, so you're bound to run into them at one point, right? Especially through friends and family, right? If you have men in your family, they're gonna have male friends. If you have, you know, for the men, if you have female family, right? Cousins, sisters, they're gonna have female friends. It works out, right? Guys and girls can be buddies sometimes, right? They can really get along. Guys can make great friends. I know this. You know, sometimes if they're handy, you know, if they're technical, you know, you get one that knows about computers and stuff and can help you out. They can also, like I said, they give you that opposite sex perspective. You know, when you have a male friend, he can explain to you more so, I think, what a man is thinking better than your female friend because he's a man. He knows a little bit better. He knows what they talk about when they get together and they're, you know, they're their little male groups. What do they do? What do they talk about? What makes them, you know, what makes them tick? You know, if you have a male friend, they can kind of break it down for you. You know, I mean, male family too, but a male friend, you know, if someone you can really be close with and bond, they'll break it down for you, and that's wonderful. I've learned a lot from having male friends. Okay, so let me talk about my male friends. I had three of them, three major ones in my life. Two that were of heterosexual orientation, and one who identified with homosexual orientation. But three males, okay? And I want to say for the one who identified with homosexual orientation, I liked him. You know, person's sexual orientation is not their whole personality. And I know I've been pretty firm on my stance about how I feel about things, and I'm reflecting what the Bible's opinion on it is, and the true God's opinion. So, and as it says, hate the sin, not the sinner. Okay, so and what somebody does is their private business, and you want to guide them towards a relationship with the true God. I digress. Okay, that's where I've come from. I think I've explained that before, but I'll say it again just for so you guys can really understand it. Okay, but this friend, he was such a three-dimensional. We all are. He was such a 3D-dimensional person. I seen him for who he was, and not just that he had homosexual tendencies or whatnot. I digress. I'll talk about him. I'll talk about all three of them. Okay, so I have these three guy friends in my life. Not going to give you their real names, obviously. We'll call one Mark because he kind of reminded me of Mark Wahlberg a little bit. Funny. And what else? Then there was a guy, I'll call him Damien because he reminded me of Damien, the Devil's Omen. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. We'll just call him Damien, okay? And then the third one, that was my the guy who had homosexual orientation. We'll call him We'll call him Roger because he reminded me. If you ever watched that show, American Dad, right, with the dad Stan, and then like it's about he's a CIA guy. It's like it's one of those Family Guy. It's the spin-off of a Family Guy cartoon or whatever. It's his other creation, so it's animated. And anyways, Roger's the alien on there, and he's kind of homosexual oriented. I don't know. He's funny. He reminds me of that guy. Like that's totally his personality. Just a hoot, man. He's hilarious. Um, but I'm not going to give you his real name, obviously. Okay, so let's start. Mark. Okay, my friendship with Mark. Mark was a family friend, meaning he was friends with my family before I met him. That's how I met him, just hanging out over their house, and he was hanging out over their house too, and that's how we met. So he was funny. He was nice. He was kind of like an old soul, kind of like myself, and he was a little older than my family, my cousins and everything. They're a lot younger than me, or not a lot, but they're younger than me in different increments. Some of them a lot, but and so anyways, I end up being the oldest out of them. So when I hang around with them, it's fun, like I said, different friends, different ages, same thing with family. And it's refreshing to be around younger people, right? They keep you up to date with stuff. But it's also nice to have somebody your own age because, there's a certain level you can bond on, you can vibe on. And so Mark was more my age, well, a little older, but more my age than, the rest of them. And he was older than his family too. So we were like the two old ones of the group. And we were kind of, to be honest, we were, what's the word? Well, whatever. We were just similar. I'll leave it at that. Very similar. So comfortable. We were comfortable around each other, and I kind of thought that he might have liked me a little bit. You know when someone likes you, you kind of can tell. They look at you a little long, and just it's natural. It's to be expected. You're hanging out, you're getting along so well. It's like, well, why? What's the next step? Especially if you find each other attractive. Why are we just friends? Why don't we, be more? Well, and to in his defense, he was always polite and not too obvious about it. Some guys, when they like you, they'll, or when they're your friends, right? They'll be always flirting with you and stuff, almost an uncomfortable amount, where you start to feel bad because if you don't feel the same, right? Okay, so, but this guy Mark, he would never come on too strong to me, and he always mentioned it to my family members and our friends. It was kind of funny because I had one of the friends actually told me, she's like, yeah, he used to talk about you all the time. I was like, oh, really? Um, so why didn't I date him? It would have been perfect, right? Okay, well, for one thing, I didn't want to mix family and dating because I always figured if it went wrong, which relationships sometimes can, then it would mess up a lot of stuff. It'd mess up our friendship, platonic friendship, and it would mess up their friendship with the family and my friendship. Because then it gets awkward, right? If you date and then you break up, and then you both got to see each other. And am I mad? Am I hurt? If I'm hurt, I can't show it. Or if they're hurt, they can't show it. Oh, we're cool, and really, it's hurtful. I didn't want to deal with any of that, and I wasn't going to, not at that point. So I just, and I wasn't really into him all the way, but I always just kind of watched. And we were, regardless of that, it still worked as a friendship, more or less. And again, this video is about platonic friendship. So if you're thinking we're talking about friends with benefit stuff, you're in the wrong video. Not it. I'm talking about platonic ones, okay? Because then when you cross over, that's not a friendship no more. Come on. Okay. All right. Let's just keep it real, right? Come on. All right, looking at my notes here, that's why I keep turning. So yeah, one thing I can say about that, my friend Mark, is I always felt safe around him, very like mentally and physically safe, what those kind of people that can make you feel protected. Not even that he was like really strong or really alpha male or anything, just think just calm, and I knew that he cared. I knew that he cared about my well-being. Put it like that, and that's nice to know that somebody, got your back like that. Okay, so right, this is going well, right? This is our friendship, okay, and it worked out really well. I was really happy. It's nice to have a guy that you can be emotionally bonded with and not have that physical expectation and that physical, the blurring of the lines, how it gets blurred. It was never that. Loved it. So and I dated. I had my boyfriend. He dated women. He had girlfriends. I can tell you that his girlfriends did not like that I was his girlfriend. His friend that was a girl. And I think maybe deep down inside they knew that he maybe kind of liked me. and maybe that I kind of liked him back a little bit. So I think, and it's horrible, I think, for the other people to have to partake in that. They get a little mad, and I can't blame them. I would feel the same way. Personally, I wouldn't allow it. I say allow, but I would have to really set the boundaries with my dating partner or husband, and they did. Um, so, the guy I was dating too, he did mention to me, he wasn't threatened or anything. He was mostly comfortable, right? But there was times when he was like, are you guys, is something going on with you guys? You can just say it, and I'm like, no, there's not. And that kind of, that would cause arguments. If your boyfriend thinks you're, cheating on him with your friend, or having, friends with benefits with your friend, like, it's gonna affect your relationship. And in his defense, he was really nice about it. He wasn't threatened. He knew nothing was going on, but a couple times he did mention that it made him uncomfortable. So, um, so yeah. What ended up happening with my friend Mark? Well, I'll tell you the good things before I get to the dark side of dating, of guys and girls being friends. Okay, there's a dark side to this, but I won't get there yet. Okay, what I will say is that Mark left. He went out of state, came back a couple years later, and he started focusing his energy and his time on finding himself a woman to date. Because he always said too, I'm gonna date and get married. I want to date and get married and have a family. So when he decided to stop focusing on our friendship, you know, he ended up meeting a girl online, and they went on a few dates, and they liked each other a lot, and the rest is history. They got married and they had kids, and it worked out really well for him. So that was that situation with Mark. Now again, there is a dark side to this. Oh yeah, but we're not going to get to that quite yet. Hang on, roll with me here, roll with me. All right, that was friend number one, Mark. Friend number two, call him Damien. No, I'm just kidding. You guys know the old movie, right? Just kidding, The Omen. No, this guy, Damien, he was another family friend. Okay, friend of a family member. Wonderful guy, charismatic, hilarious, very creative, emotionally intelligent. One of those guys you can talk to and you feel like, wow, like they get it. They don't have like that. How some men, and it's not a problem. It's just some men can't really get on that level, like that really like vibe with women, but this guy could. He knew about, just emotionally emotionally intelligent. He knew he could talk to anyone about anything. One of those kind of people. Love those kind of people. And he was charismatic. Oh my goodness. So he had fallen on some hard times. Well, actually Mark too. Now with both of these friends, okay, platonic male friends, I actually let them move in, okay, at a certain point. Because now, if you can put it into context, we grew up in a poor area of town. We grew up in poverty, and so a lot of our friends were pretty much grew up in poverty too, or close to it. So when you grow up in poverty, it's hard to break that cycle sometimes, even as an adult. Things happen. I know this is the United States. I know if you work hard and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you can get out of poverty. But it's a process, and you need people to help you during that process when you're trying to move yourself from one socioeconomic bracket, when you're trying to get out of poverty and move on to a working class level income. It takes time and it takes help. Nobody can do it by themselves. If anybody ever says that they did it by themselves, they're just not being honest, and they're not being realistic. Nobody's an island. Okay, so anyways, when people need help, I try to look out, and not for long term. Obviously, you can't live with me for years, but for a few months to get on your feet, not pay rent while you're living with me. That's a big help when you can live somewhere and not have to pay rent. I mean, that means all the money you would be paying in rent, you can put in your pocket and save for your own place, rent and security and whatnot. I digress. So I didn't mind, I didn't necessarily want roommates per se, but it was okay. Remember, these were fun, these were good friends. I thought, male friends. Why not? Why not help? Plus, it'd be fun for a little bit. So both of those friends lived with me at some point while they were getting on their feet. I didn't mind, and I thought I was being helpful. Okay, we shall get back to that. That was, and when they lived with me, honestly, to have a roommate, it was kind of fun. You stay up, you talk, you have somebody if you want to have a drink. I'm not above having a drink by myself. Not, and don't, those of you who know me and who watch my videos, I'm not a flaming alcoholic or anything. I have a drink like what, maybe once a month, maybe sometimes not for 6 months. It's like that, social, recreational. So, but it's nicer when you have somebody to be social with, so and play cards and listen to music, like I said, friends enrich our lives. So even though they were male friends, I made sure they understood was nothing going on. We're not doing a friends with benefits situation here. You know, that's cool. Let's just be cool. And it was for a lot of part, it was a good experience with those two male friends, heterosexual. There's also a dark side. I keep saying that because there's so many pros to having male female friendships, and there's so many cons too, where it actually becomes a safety risk. We'll get to that though. Okay, let's talk about my friend Roger. My friend Roger. Oh my goodness, the one family friend again. And my family's a little bit different than myself. I guess you might see me and think, maybe I'm kind of, I don't know. You see me in one way. If you met my family, you'd be like, wow, okay, they're kind of different. They're a little bit more outgoing. They're a little more rough around the edges. They're still nice people. We still come from the same, lineage. But they're just a little bit more rough. Okay? For good or bad. I think when you grow up in a impoverished neighborhood, those neighborhoods can get rough. So you don't survive if you don't get rough too, right? Like what's that movie? You better get hard. So that's my family. They're hard, not extremely, but they're more rough around the edges than I am, I guess, because we've had different probably experiences. Okay, and we're built a little different. That's okay. We're family. We're still similar in many ways. So anyways, Roger, I met him through my family. Um, he was a male friend, but this one's a little bit different because he had a homosexual preference. Okay, um, but his personality, he wasn't just his sexual orientation. His personality, again, charismatic, funny, hilarious. Oh my goodness, he was he still is a skillful stylist. And I know it's stereotypical, like gay guys can do hair. Well, this one he really could. And all his sisters had mixed kids, so he knew how to do like black hair, and I'm mixed, so he could do my relaxers, he could do sew-ins, he could cut, he could color. Oh my goodness, man, that guy. He liked to think he could do makeup too. He was okay with his makeup, but I think I was a little better. But I digress. He could do hair like nobody's business. He's one of those kind of people, ladies and gentlemen, if you show him like a picture of a hairstyle, he could recreate it, and he could also like just look at you and tell you what hairstyle would look good on you. He was wonderful in that, very skillful. It's I could picture him being like a stylist to like celebrities, like he's on that level. Unfortunately, I don't think he ever did that, but he has a job, he's happy, he's good. So he never pursued his stylish dreams, which I don't know if it was his dream or my dream. It was my dream for him. I don't know if he ever pursued my dream for him. Anywho, you want the best for your friends, and you can tell when they have skills. You can just look at it like, wow, man. But like I said, he's happy. I'm sorry, my camera's bouncing a little bit because again, I'm sitting on an ottoman and I have this on my lap, and I have to shift a little bit. Let me shift. Bear with me, audience, while I shift. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I notice we're gonna have to do these videos a little different. You guys like the picture behind me? Blessed. We're all blessed. I like this one. It wasn't that expensive either. It's like wood art. It's if you can tell on camera, I don't know, it's white and then like the lettering is gold. Like really I don't know, I just like that look. Very pristine looking. I usually decorate with colors, but with this one I liked that. Just nice and simple and bright. So yeah, blessed. I am blessed. I woke up this morning. We're all blessed, right? You guys woke up, right? You're watching this. I woke up. We're good. All right. God loves us. All right, so we're talking friends here. Okay, now we're talking about the third friend, Roger. Yes, so Roger, yeah, he never lived with me, although he did ask at times, but that never came to be. He had other friends that he stayed with when he needed to, and now he's got, like I said, he's doing good now. So, So that was it. That was that was my third male friend. Okay, and these were all, I've talked to you guys about the upside about having male friends. It was wonderful. It really was in many ways. Okay, but I do want to we're telling the truth here, so I have to be a little bit honest with you, and I have to tell you about the dark side of having male friends. Okay, well, let's go backwards. Roger, my friend Roger. What could go wrong with having a friend who's gay, and we would he was really fun. We'd go out dancing, we'd go out with people. He's very extroverted, very charismatic, so he could like meet strangers and make them feel comfortable and make everybody feel comfortable. Um, he was very much, I always like to think of him like he was like a guard dog, like he would keep like all the creepy people away. Like he had really good radar for it, man. If somebody gave off funny vibes, he was on it, man. Like it was literally, and I'm not comparing him to an animal. Like he's a very, obviously charismatic, smart, intelligent human being, but like just that personality, like he did not play anything. If he felt somebody was getting, at bars and stuff, you need that sometimes because it can be a rough environment, right? You got men and women. A lot of times the guys, come on, they're looking to get laid, and they can get a little weird about it, right? Get a little not understanding, no, right? No thanks, get out of here. But when a man says it, and it's so funny, man, because he was obviously homosexual, and sometimes he would dress like a woman. But boy, let me tell you, he was like 100% man. It was hilarious, and he was always there. Like you could, if something weird was going on, you'd be like, oh my goodness, where is he? And he'd pop up like right there, you know. Wonderful times. Always felt safe with him too. I think that's a theme in my friendships. I think with all of us, right? We want to be around people who make us feel safe. So he did. He did. Now, like I said, there's a dark side. What was the dark side with Roger? That funny, charismatic, protective friend. Well, that funniness and charisma sometimes turn mean. Now, mind you, I said that he has homosexual tendencies. Okay, so usually, when somebody has homosexual tendencies, a lot of times, many times, most times, that can come from childhood sexual trauma, okay, in some type of way. It's the truth. It's been studied. I don't care what you guys say. They're born that way. This, that, please, okay? No, you're not. Your environment very much shapes you, okay? And he obviously at some point experienced some severe trauma, okay, to, to make him act out and have the orientation in that manner. Okay, that's that's the truth of it. All right. So with that trauma, it would sometimes manifest. Obviously, he would that charisma, that funniness. He would get a little mean. That charisma could turn, aggressive. Right. I said he was like a watchdog. Right, which is wonderful when he's on your side. What would happen sometimes, and this is why I had to lower my contact. There was a point in time when you don't need to be guarded with people. When you want to, if there's a guy you like, if you find attractive and you want to talk to him, you're going to talk to him. Now, with this particular friend, I noticed, I don't know, I could be wrong, but with this gay friend, I got a vibe that he was kind of being excuse my language, what's the word? Cock blocker. Okay. And I don't mean it like in a sexual manner, like, but I mean just like blocking, like kind of being, blocking me from meeting guys. Like, saying, oh, no, they're no good, or, he's don't talk to him, he's a jerk. Like, you don't even know him, I don't know him. Let's give him, I'm going to give him a chance. This is my decision, so let me just talk to the guy. But it got really unhealthy in that manner, because I'm like, man, you're like blocking my chances at talking to people. Now I'm starting to feel some type of way. Okay, because I'm actually looking for a relationship, and when we're out, sometimes maybe that could be how you could meet somebody. Well, not if you got your friend cock blocking you. So yeah, wonderful as he was, and he still is, that his inner turmoil and trauma played a part, kind of reared its ugly head at times, And one thing I think Roger had going on was a little bit of sociopathy. Is that the word for it? Wonderful person. If you're on his good side, he'll love you to death. But he can also be very revengeful, very, can be a sociopath. Okay, very charming, very wonderful, very charismatic, protective, but also, yeah, nothing to be, you got to step lightly with him. And that took a lot of energy for me, to have, to have to be, conscientious of that. Some people, when you just want to hang out, you just want it to flow without having to worry about, you know, but that's okay. That's still a friendship. That's still, it's just one that takes a little bit more energy. And obviously, as of lately, I don't have a lot of energy. So, but that was a dark side to that. Okay. And I think too that male female aspect played a part, because he was thinking he was the male, right? He's dressed like a woman. He's likes other men, but there's still that male dominance. I feel like, which it could have been with women too. Sometimes women are dominant, but with women it's a little different because they're a woman. You can just put them back in their place or whatever, more or less. You know what I'm saying, right? Okay. Damien. Okay, my friend Damien. That was the one that lived with me, right? Funny, hilarious, creative, right? But Damien ended up liking me a little bit, and he took our talks, when we would, be talking and bonding and stuff and laughing, and I think he started really liking me on a deeper level, maybe wanting to date me, and assuming and thinking that me laughing and talking and stuff was me flirting and wanting to be, and it ended up getting passive aggressive. I think he felt rejected, okay? And I don't think that he liked it. I woke up one night in the middle of the night and I caught him talking about me like a dog to a friend of his in Atlanta. Whatever, it doesn't matter, or a family friend. He said it was his cousin, whatever. But I thought, geez, that's really gutsy, living in my house and talking about me like a dog. But okay, fine, whatever. But then I wondered why. Why would he do this? Why would somebody I call a friend, helping them out, why would they turn on me like this? And then it became obvious. Passive aggressive. He wasn't getting what he wanted, right? It's turmoil to live and to like somebody and they're not feeling the same about you. It's a feeling of rejection, okay? So be careful. With guy and girl friendships, you're going to have that. With a woman, a girl, same-sex friendship, you'll never have that. Obviously, if your friend's straight and stuff, they're never, well, I mean, they can feel rejected too, I take that back, but not in such a deep manner. Not quite the same. Mark. Okay, what about my friend Mark? What happened with him? Okay, well, I'm just going to say, I think Mark might have had the potential to stalk me. Why do I say that? A few reasons. I can't get into all of them for certain reasons, but I'll tell you this one little story about Mark. Okay, Mark had come back from being out of town, and I was in school at that point because that's what we had done. We were a little younger at the time, so he had went off out of state, did some military stuff, and I, stayed here and decided to pursue an education. So I was in school, and when you get into a program in school, all your classes are in the same place, same building. Every day you go to the same class, versus when you first start college, you have different courses in different buildings, different campuses, right? Okay, that's when you're taking all your mixture, your core classes. But then when you get into your program, at least at that school that I went to, my classes were always in the same place with the same instructors. Okay, which makes sense because you're more specialized. So it becomes more of a tighter knit group versus when you're first taking your courses, you're kind of all over the buildings. Anyways, I digress. So I seen Mark one day at school and I thought, wow, hey, you're going to school here too? Cool. Wonderful. It's so good to see you. What you been up to? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh yeah, da, da, da. And he's talking to me. He said, my class. I said, where's your class? He said, oh, mine's right across the hall from yours. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Okay. It was like a biology class or something. Now, he didn't have a book for the class, which I thought was odd. And and he's talking to me, and I'm like, oh well, hey, what's going on in that class? I always wanted to see, let's see in your class because it's biology, right? They had a whole bunch of what do you call those? Not stethoscopes, microscopes. Those, the way you look at the slides underneath them, and whatnot. So I wanted to see what they were studying, just curiosity. Me, I'm always curious. I'm always researching. Let's see your class, man. He went in the class. I don't even think he knew anybody in that class. He didn't have a book. They're like, the instructor asked him, what are you here for? He said, oh, this is some class. He's like, what's your name? he's like, oh, da da da, and he's giving him his name, and the guy can't find it. And I'm like, it just struck me as odd because it was the middle of the semester. So it wasn't like the beginning of the semester, because sometimes that can happen in the beginning of the semester. You know, the teacher doesn't know your name. Maybe you switched courses. You know, you went from a Monday, Wednesday to a Tuesday, Thursday class. You know, they don't, the instructor doesn't know you yet in the beginning, like the first month. But after that month, they know you. They've seen your face, right? The instructor, it was the middle of the semester. The instructor didn't know this guy, my friend. So, the heck's going on? Another thing, I never seen him in that class again after that. I ended up asking him about it later. I'm like, what happened? You still go to that class, or how did it go? Oh, no, I dropped it. Oh, really? Okay. That wasn't the only thing. That's just an example that I'm giving you. Like I said, I can't get too much into it, but there was lots of little examples where it just felt a little off. Like he was, you know, still around, but without, I don't know, without saying it. If that makes sense. Also, too, he had a one thing about your friends, your guy and your girlfriends, you have to keep in mind is that 6 degrees of separation, meaning whoever you're friends with, you have to also consider who they're friends with. Okay, and remember I told you I come from a different type of family. Just because I'm a certain type of way doesn't mean my family's that kind of way. Okay, they're a little rougher than me. So imagine the people they hung around are going to be a little rougher too. Which, no problem. Friends from all different areas of life. Okay, Mark's situation, he ended up having some friends, I think, who really didn't care for me. He also had, without getting too much into it, he had some sexual abuse issues going on in a family member's house, like where it got really bad. I mean, we're talking about, you know, legal stuff, you know, where the person had to be um, addressed legally about it and whatnot. So, and then, you know, so this is all going around him. And then too, he had that ex-girlfriend. Okay, he was dating a girl while we were friends. Remember, we were just friends. This girl loved him to pieces, which is funny because she only dated him after I was his friend. I almost feel like it was. Well, I digress. Anyways, she loved him to pieces. Remember, I told you we grew up in a predominantly like Mexican neighborhood. Like the white people were like a majority, and there was like a few black people. Well, anyways, he was white. They were like mixed with native or something. Oh, now I'm giving it away. But anyways, you don't know this person. You're never gonna meet him. Doesn't matter. Whatever. His name's Mark. Don't worry about who he is too much. But anyways, the neighborhood we grew up in, there wasn't a lot of white guys. So white guys were like a hot commodity. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just one of those things like you didn't really see them around a lot. You know, they were rare is what I'm saying. A diamond in the rough, you know? Like, is that a white guy? Oh my goodness. They just weren't as common. And this chick was black. She loved him to pieces. Okay, everything about him, you know. I mean, you can just tell when somebody's really into a guy. You know, she would ask me, you know, do you ever notice his body type and this and that, and just, you know, little details. But when somebody really likes you, that they pay attention about your body and about your looks and about your personality. Only somebody who's really into you will pick up on those things. The rest of us are like, oh yeah, okay, well, whatever. But so she liked him. And I think he kind of did her wrong, which guys sometimes do. He broke up with her without breaking up with her, kind of ghosted her, one of those things. I've been through that. We've all been through that, right? Where you like somebody and then all of a sudden they just don't respond to you anymore. It's like, oh, great, thank you for being such a jerk that you can't even tell me. But I think I understand where they're coming from, because it's awkward for them, too, to tell you that they just don't like you anymore. You know, because I've had to do that on dating lines, you know. Sometimes you meet somebody and you're like, at first you like them, and then, like, I don't know, it could be something stupid, like you're not even attracted to him. And it's like, ooh, you know, I don't want to say it. How can I say it? I'm just not attracted to you. And you can't. I don't know how you could say that. And I've actually said it once, just because that's how... I'm like, I'll just say it. I'll just be honest. What can go wrong if you're honest? I'll just tell them the honest to God truth. I'm just not attracted to you. No, danger, okay? Nobody takes kindly to that. Nobody takes kindly to that. So, I mean, this person wanted to fight. It's like fighting words. Even though you're not saying they're not attractive, that's not what I said. I just said, I'm not attracted to you. I don't like your face. To me. I don't like your face. Doesn't do anything for me romantically. It's the truth, right? Right? All of us have something different that we like, that we find attractive about people. It could be a really attractive person, that everybody like. I'm trying to think of like a celebrity. I'm not going to say any names or anything, but it could be a celebrity that everybody thinks is so hot, and you're like, I don't see it. I don't get it. Right? That kind of thing. Well, you can't say that to somebody and have them take it well. So anyway, the point is, when sometimes in life when we ghost people, it could be for something of that, or it could be something stupid like, I just don't like your laugh. I just don't like your personality. I just don't think, you're too, I don't know, too quiet for me, too loud for me, too this, too that, whatever. We're all different. So, but people don't take kindly to that. So then what ends up happening is, as people, we ghost them, right? Well, I can't tell them the truth, so no answer is your answer, right? Okay, that's what he did to this chick, which was cruel because it's rude, but I think he just didn't want to tell her, and so he just started ghosting her, and then so she got really hurt about that, and I think in her head she might have put the blame on me somehow. Oh, maybe because something that I did caused him to ghost her or to not want to be with her. Now, mind you, I respected when he dated people. He was just my friend. I had a boyfriend, so I never said anything bad about her or anything. It wasn't my decision to make. It was his. He ghosted her. He treated her poorly. But ladies and gentlemen, she somehow found a way to try and take that out on me. She was mad at me. She'll probably never admit it, but she was. It actually got to the point where she got really weird about the whole situation too. Okay, turned dark. So my point again, this is pros and cons of dating guy and girl friendships, any friendships. You got to be careful, because just because you're friends with this person and this person is a certain way, you got to remember who they're friends with. Now, through Mark, this girl ended up knowing me and ended up having an issue with me. Somebody I would have never met on my own, right? But by knowing him, that opened up the door. Be careful. All right. So you heard about my 3 friends. Okay, you heard my experiences. My 3 guy friends. Okay, I'm a girl. I'm a woman. Had 3, male friends. What does it all mean? What's my take on it? I think that there are emotional safety risks with having opposite sex friendships, and I think there are physical safety risks that can lead up to. Okay, I think so. Even up to and including rapes and or, I'm going to say it, murder. Yes. Well, come on, Sherry, you're being so dramatic. How can you be so dramatic? Come on, Sherry. Okay, well, excuse me. Reason I say this, okay, emotional risks. Let's just be honest. When you're having a guy and girl friendship, unless the guy is homosexual, has homosexual orientation, or is practicing homosexuality, the lines are going to be blurred, okay? Blurred lines. Did you see that video? Blurred lines, the song, the video. The reason I say this is because an opposite sex friendship, somebody is going to end up liking somebody. You're getting along. That's what relationships are, ladies and gentlemen. It's friendships, but like a souped up friendship, right? What do you always say? My husband's going to be my best friend. My wife's my best friend. Of course. That's the way it should be. That's the way it is. Otherwise you wouldn't get married, right? At least here in Western culture, we just don't marry a stranger or somebody our parents set for us, arranged marriages. No. We marry who we like based upon what? Their outer appearance? Yeah, to a point. To a point, of course. You got to have that physical attraction. But above and beyond that, you have to make sure the person gets along with you, right? And who gets along better than friends? That's what a marriage is. It ends up being a friendship. I mean, it's a marriage, obviously. It's, multi-dimensional. But a big component of a marriage is friendship, right? Do we vibe? Do we get along? Do we have the same values? Same sense of humor? Same lifestyle? Same thing that you're looking for when you're looking for in friends. So what I'm saying is, lines can get blurred with opposite sex friendships, okay? And so if one friend is having a crush and likes the other one, which is bound to happen, it's expected. Come on. Why not? Why would it not? Why would a friend not like you? Unless you're super unattractive, and then you probably would like them. One of the two. One's gonna like one or the other. I don't care. Okay, you can argue with me till the cows come home. You guys know I'm telling the truth, and this I've lived it, so I know. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. When you, whomever doesn't like their friend, the other friend who's doing the liking is gonna feel rejected. They're gonna feel maybe intense feelings of rejection, okay, or perceived rejection. So you're thinking, hey, I'm not rejecting you. You're my friend. I like you. You know, you're funny. You're hilarious. We're buddies. What are you talking about? I'm not rejecting you. Mm-mm. They want you for a relationship. They want you to be their girlfriend. They want to probably marry you. They want to sleep with you. And if they're your guy friend, they probably just don't want to sleep with you just, to use you. They probably really like you, like. And it's so sad when you don't feel the same for whatever reason. And it's your prerogative, right? We can like who we want to like and not like who we want to like, especially when it comes to romantic relationships. So how hurtful, how a perceived rejection by the other person. You're not rejecting them, but, well, you are. You're rejecting them for a relationship. You think they're okay with that. Well, everybody's not. What am I doing here? Oh, yes, we're talking about guy and girl friendships. What could go wrong? If the friend that likes the other friend is feeling rejected or perceived rejection in their head, you're not rejecting them. You just want to be their friend. What's the problem? Doesn't matter. They're perceiving it. They're perceiving it as rejection. They like you. They're in love with you, man. They see you. They like everything about you. And now you're just sitting here telling them no. And not only are you telling them no, you don't like them romantically, but they're in their head, the line's blurred because you're spending time with them. You're laughing with them. They're taking your laughing as flirting. They're thinking they have a chance, okay? They're spending time with you. They're doing things for you. They're listening to you. They're being supportive. And you're thinking it's just a regular friendship. Why wouldn't they do that? Okay, well, perceived rejection. Just want to mention this. Well, you guys remember that movie Friday, where the guy that drives the ice cream truck or something, what is his name, Big Perm or something, Big Worm, and he's like, what does he tell the guy? You're playing with my emotions. I don't like my emotions played with. And he's serious, right? He's kind of threatening to kill him basically over some monies or something that the guy owed him. So same idea. Do not play with people's emotions. When in male-female relationships, okay, friendships, they can start liking you. You can start liking them. That's nothing to be played with, because that's, now you go into a whole different bracket. Okay. I just want to bring this up because it's important. I grew up with my mother, and she always was reading like books on serial killers and true crime stuff. Like, she was obsessed with it. She'd always be watching Dateline and stuff. I mean, honest to God, she should have been, and I know she wanted to. She always said she wanted to be like a police officer or something in law enforcement, and she really should have, because she was good at it. She exposed us to a lot of stuff, and I think that's why I think so deep now, because of having that type of role model. Anyways, I digress. With all the serial killers, so there was Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Ed Gein, making furniture out of people. Right? Dahmer from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, right where we're at. Anyways, they found out, because obviously reporters and psychiatrists, well, after these people were arrested and whatever, they would do interviews with them and try to probe their minds to see what drove them to cross that line and be a serial killer. Okay, now we're not talking crimes, passion, things like that. We're talking like planned, like, they became like serial. That means more than one. Okay. When they interviewed these men and women and asked them, why did you do what you did? Why? What was one of the main feelings? What feelings triggered you to actually go and continuously hurt people, different people, to the point of, you murdered them? Why? One of the answers that they found, listen, was that they had feelings of rejection and abandonment issues. Like, for instance, Dahmer, he said that when his parents divorced, they left him in the house by himself. He was like 15 years old. You can imagine what that would be like. Your parents are divorced, you're living in a house together, all of a sudden they divorce and leave you, leave you there in the house. Abandonment. Okay. Same thing, Ted Bundy. What happened with Ted Bundy? He was dating a woman, engaged, right? Brunette lady. He loved her. Obviously, they were engaged. They were going to get married. She broke it off for whatever reason. Maybe she's seen some signs. Anyways, he was felt so rejected from her that when he went out and killed other women, they all were similar looking to his fiance. And they even asked him about it, and he admitted it. Yeah, I was mad at her for rejecting me, and when I killed, I was picturing her. You get it? Okay? Perceived rejection or rejection, feelings of abandonment, it can trigger strong feelings, okay? To the point of anger. Nobody wants to feel rejected. It's very personal, right? As a person, you don't, because God is love, right? And God never makes us feel rejected. God loves us. He says, I made you. I spent time making your chromosomes. I knew you he formed us. He took us before we were birthed, when we were even thought of. He made us, in his image at that. He loves us no matter what, even when we do horrible things. That's why he had his own son, Jesus Christ died for us, because he loves us and accepts us. That's the beauty of the true God, acceptance and love. And that's what we look for as humans, right? With other humans. We want to be accepted and we want to be loved. And then we function well. Okay? Life is good. That's how we're made. Now, obviously with Luciferian stuff, it's the total opposite. It's hate, it's anger, it's violence, non-acceptance. Okay. That, what I'm saying is, with people, you have to be very conscientious. And with these male and female friendships, that can come into play. That one might start liking the other, and if they feel rejected, feelings of rejection and abandonment can trigger abusive, violent behavior. Okay, just know that. All right, what are we at? We're almost at an hour. I'm going to wrap up here. Okay, so don't play with people's emotions. That's what I take from it. Okay. Also, physical safety risks. What are some physical safety risks? Well, let's be honest. In this day of cyber stalking, okay, say you have these male friends. Okay, they want to date you. You don't want to date them. They get mad about it. They're upset. There's such a thing called revenge porn. Nowadays, cameras are so small, okay? Cameras can be the size of your pinky, okay? And you can put it in somebody's bathroom. I'm not trying to give ideas. Again, I have to give this message for the good people, and the bad people are going to hear it too. So good people, please listen. These cameras are so small nowadays, you can install them in people's bathrooms, okay, where they wouldn't even notice. It can be a screw in the wall with a camera on it. Yes, it can. Okay? And they're not that expensive. If somebody wanted to get revenge on you, say your guy friend, he could put a camera in your bathroom and record you undressing, dressing, using the bathroom. Some people have fetishes. They get off on stuff like this. It's called voyeurism. It means watching somebody when they don't know they're being watched. Okay? So, and then what they could do is take that footage, right, live stream it, and put it on some pervert site on the dark web. Oh, yeah. And there's people that'll pay a pretty penny for that. They're perverts. They're voyeurs. They want to look. Looky-loos. Okay? Well, you think, why in God's green earth? Why would my friend do this? They're my friend. Okay? Well, in a guy and girl friendships, one can like the other. And like I said, if you reject them, not even that you meant to, but you just weren't attracted to them for whatever reason, A through Z, whatever, doesn't matter. We're humans. We're funny like that. If you rejected them, if they perceived that you rejected them, now they're angry. Okay? Now, you can become a victim. They can put a camera. They can do revenge porn on you. And broadcast it to everyone. What's the problem with that? What could that lead up to? Why do I say even murder? Well, because you don't know who's on the dark web. These people are severely perverted. I'm not going to get into all the things they can do. Doesn't even matter. It's not even worth talking about. It's so depraved. But just, ladies and gentlemen, please, just because you're good people, okay, we're good people, understand that there is a section of the world that are not good people for whatever reason, and they're depraved. Okay, and they will hurt you. Not saying that they can't change, but if they're living in depravity, they are capable of some really horrendous things. Okay, so somebody's watching on the dark web because your guy friend, you didn't date him, you didn't have sex with him, now he's mad. He's broadcasted you on some pervert website. Now, some pervert is watching you every day, maybe masturbating to you. Yeah, let's be honest. You're not watching somebody in the bathroom just to watch them. Okay, it's not like watching a cooking show. You're not watching for entertainment, okay? You're not watching for educational purposes. You're watching for sexual stimulation, okay? Now, what if one of these perverts from the dark web, they contact your friend, they get your name and number. Somehow they find out who you are, where you live, okay? Thanks to your friend. What if it's a group? You got a group of people. You're going viral. You're a star now. You don't know it. You're just in the bathroom brushing your teeth, you know, doing your stuff, you know, whatever, popping pimples, rubbing yourself down, right? You could potentially become a victim of cyber stalking, okay? Not even by your friend. Your friend could have just set it up, but now he's got you on the dark web. Now you got some pervert coming to your house to stalk you. They love you. They like you so much. They've seen you every day. In their head, they think you're, you know, now you got another stalker on top of your original friend who becomes a stalker. I'm just saying, this all is what can happen if you're not careful. Okay, why again? Why? Why would your friend do this? Well, because they don't just want to be your friend. Okay, they like you. They're in love with you. That can happen. I'm saying from experience. I'm not. This is not a theory. And I'm not. It sounds funny that I say this because, like, who am I for anybody? Nobody likes you. Them. I don't know. Well, you know, people. Whatever. This is a reality. Okay, so physical risks. Yeah, you can become stalked off of this. Okay, all it takes is a little camera. Also with your phones and your computers, you know this too in this day and age. Everything can be remote accessed. Each phone and camera and computer, each phone and computer and device has access, right? A camera, also a microphone. Okay, so if somebody wants to, all they gotta do is pay a hacker or know a hacker, or figure it out themselves. It's not that hard. And hack into your computer, right? That means your computer or your phone, you've got it sitting on the counter. They hack into the microphone. They can hear every conversation in your house, every conversation. What about the camera? They can log in and see you. And if they like you, right? I mean, this is a friend who's in love with you. They're watching you. They want to see you, right? Okay. Stalking can turn into stalking. Yep. And with friends, you know, opposite sex friends that turn into stalkers, they can do it easily because they know you. Remember, they know your they know your family, they know your friends. They were your friends, so they know all the personal details about you. They know your job, they know your work schedule, they know your last name, they know where you hang out. They're your friend. They were your friend. Of course they know these things, and they pay attention because they liked you, right? They wanted a romantic relationship with you. They were paying attention. They probably know the shape of your body even better than you do. You know that happens when you like people, right? Can you think of your favorite celebrity, right? That you think is attractive? Well, let's just keep it in the opposite sex realm. What if it's your friend, your celebrity that you think is really hot? I'm trying to think who I think is, you know, a lot of girls they like who is Channing Tatum. He's one of them. You know, I don't know. I can't even think of any right now. Whatever. But somebody that you find attractive and you notice the little stuff about them, like, oh, I like their voice, or oh, I like their eyes twinkle when they do this, or, you know, because you like them, you notice all those little things. So when somebody likes you, they're going to notice those things, which makes it easier for them to stalk you, is what I'm saying. Okay? And make no mistake about it. Opposite sex friendships, like I said, if the one likes the other and the feeling is not returned, they can have what's called perceived rejection or rejection, and they can turn into anger to the point where if they feel so rejected, they can start stalking you, either cyber stalking you or stalking you in real life. Okay, and this could actually potentially lead up to rapes and or even murder. Think about it. Your friend, you're thinking they're your friend. La-di-da, we're walking on clouds, walking on sunshine. This is my friend. We're bonding. We're laughing. We're this, we're that. You know, I'm letting them live with me. And meanwhile, they're falling in love with you. Okay? They like you. And they're watching you date other men, maybe getting jealous. You know, they really are in love with you, which is, okay, that can't be helped. You know, sometimes we fall for people. But if they're feeling really angry about it, if they're not a stable person to begin with, you can literally become, it can turn into a rape situation or even a murder situation. And like I said, not even necessarily by them. What if they put you on the pervert dark web because they put a camera in your house? What if they're got your devices or phone remote accessed? Okay, then they're broadcasting your conversations or your shower time on the dark web. Somebody from the dark web could come and freaking find you and hurt you, rape you, or kill you. Okay? And this can happen with anybody, but especially I think, given I have experience, it definitely increases when you have the same opposite sex friendships can turn into this. This is the dark side of it, okay? We're almost at an hour, so I'm going to wrap this up. I know I said that a few minutes ago. This is, like I said, a different type of video than I usually do, but it's interesting, right? Okay. So my humble opinion, what do I feel? What do I feel? Can guys and girls be friends? Yay or nay? What do I think? I think, I don't know. I'm not going to torture myself or others and be feeling like I'm in love with somebody, but I can't say it, and I'm just going to sit around and pretend to be their friend. I don't know. I love myself too much for that. And time is valuable. Like I say, you guys wonder why I say that. That's not just my branding. That's not just my, my thing, my advertising. That's really how I feel. I work with older people, so I, many times who are close to, within a decade of their death by the time I meet them, if not sooner, because I do, I work with the elderly who need help. So by the time you need help, obviously you're kind of getting closer to that point anyways. So I understand very well how time is valuable. Okay? And I don't waste my own, and I don't want to waste others. So in this whole realm of having male-female friendships, if I was to be a friend with a guy and I liked him, but he didn't like me back or something, and I would not even pretend. I wouldn't even, because that like Bible scripture, expectation postponed makes the heart sick. So it's saying like if you keep waiting for something and waiting and waiting and it's never going to happen, you'll make yourself sick about it. You'll be sick, which is what can lead to stalking behaviors later. You can't, you can't do it to yourself. So that's a risk of male and female friendships. Okay. Um, what else? It's kind of like an addict, I would think. If you're trying to quit smoking, if you like somebody and you keep hanging around them as your friend, you're not really going to be able to move on, right? And do your own thing. Remember what I said? That guy Mark, he was into me, and then he started focusing on his own self, and that's when his situation turned around for him, right? Um, so that's wonderful. Do you think his current wife would allow him to be my friend? Do you think it would be appropriate for me to be his friend now that he's married? Oh, we're friends. That's my friend. No, it's inappropriate. It's not respectful. No. Okay. So yeah, just like an addict, if I like when I quit smoking, I didn't want to be around cigarettes all the time. I mean, I had to be sometimes because obviously I live in a world people smoke still. That's their prerogative. So I'd be at the bus stop, people be smoking. I'd be, by my family, they'd be smoking. Does that, would I choose that? No. Can I help it though? No. I mean, if they're going to smoke, they're going to smoke. I can't tell them no. That's fine. I don't want to tell them no. But at the same time, I'm not going to keep choosing to be around like cigarettes if I'm trying to get over it, right? Just like an addict. You're not going to be around people who are still using if you're not using anymore, because that's going to make it harder. I'm just trying to put that into perspective with a friendship. If one likes the other and you're being around them all the time, you're really doing a disservice to yourself. You're hurting yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Okay? Nope. So another thing too, you want to be honest and purposeful in your life, right? Be honest about what you want. You're friends with this person? Okay, great. But are they really just a friend to you? Are they really just like your brother or your sister? Or is there something more? Would you like them to be more? Okay, that's okay. But if it's not going to happen, then abort mission. Abort that mission. Save yourself. Save yourself the heartache. Save yourself avoid having to get angry in the first place. Avoid having to get hurt in the first place. Okay? Also, and don't be selfish. I mean, ladies and men, right? I think ladies, we do this more with friendships, right? We put a guy in the friend zone. You're my friend. Knowing dang well he likes you. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it for your own benefit, just to have somebody around and to have the benefits of a male companion without actually, the responsibilities of a relationship. That's cruel. That's not fair to them. It's not fair to you, because you're both wasting time. If you're not into him like that, then go find somebody you are. Free up your time. Same thing with him. If she's not into you like that, free up your time. Find somebody who is. Okay, be honest with yourself. Don't waste your time. Yours or anyone else's. It's too precious, man. We only get so many X amount of years. You don't want to be wasting them on heartache and frustration and anger. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Um, I was reading something. Okay, I got a suggestion for, because like I said, remember, we all want friends. This world, you can't get by without friends. It's not natural. We're not made to be like that. God made us, the true God made us social. Okay, otherwise he would have made just one. No, there's billions of us. Imagine when people are resurrected and all the people that are dead will be alive again. Oh my goodness, the world is full of people. You can't get away. I seen a funny meme on the internet. It said, "Don't you hate when you go in public and there be people out there?" As kind of an introverted person, sometimes I can be really extroverted and I can be really introverted. It just depends. I have to be ready to socialize. I do, because I like to give it my all, and I'm very, what is the word? Empathic. That's what it is. But it means I absorb a lot. Like, I get people's energy. I don't mean it in a hippie way. I just mean like I am so in tune to everything. It's almost like an overstimulation, because I'm paying attention. And my mind is, no matter what. It's like kind of like I can't turn it off, and it's a good thing because I can connect with people. I can vibe. Hi. But it also can be a very nerve-wracking thing when you can't turn it down, if there's too much, it's like so that being said, I have to manage my socialization. But when it's on, it's on. Don't you just love being around people? It's wonderful. Friendships. What's my point here? Friendships. We need them. So you're going to run into this world. There's women. There's going to be men out there. Men, there's going to be women out there. What are you going to do? Right? If you embark upon a co-ed friendship, just keep in mind about safety with people's emotions and what it could lead up to and resulting in physical safety risk. Okay? My suggestion that I learned from my place of worship that I used to go to, they always said, for your social development, if you want to hang around in a co-ed environment, go out in groups. And I find this to be true. Do it in a groups, like if you go out with your girlfriend, if you're a woman, you go out with one of your friends that are a woman, and then they invite their brother or their cousin and his girlfriend and their wives. Do you know what I mean? In that environment. Because that's more realistic. That's more like real life. Versus when you have a male-female friendship and it's just one-on-one. To me, that's more intimate. That's more like now you're getting into husband and wife zone. And unless they're your family, that can be a blurred line place to be. No, you probably want to be in groups, which for those of us I know who are kind of introverted and sometimes you don't want to do the group thing, but you know what? Make it happen. You're going to have to get social. I guess practice makes perfect, right? The more you're around people and the more you're social, the less awkward you'll be. That's just how it goes. So work it on out. All right, what else? Time is valuable. So that's my piece of advice, is to go on group outings, with people. Keep it in the group. All right. There was a YouTuber, and he had a piece of advice. I don't know if I would not follow this, but it's worth mentioning. Maybe, I don't know. It was just kind of shocking. Anyways, his name is Ernie Perez, and he did a video like this too. Can guys and girls just be friends? And he felt the same way I do. Nay, same thing. One's gonna like the other. Blurred lines. Da da da. He said, and this was kind of funny. He said, guys, if you don't want to be put in the friend zone, and she's putting you there, and you just want to let her know that you're into her, and you want to know if she's into you back, just send her a DP. You know what I'm saying by DP, right, audience? I don't want to get vulgar. Come on, Sunday. A picture of your privates, a DP, DPic. He said that would end all speculation from the woman's point. Oh my goodness, because right, as a woman, right, when you get a DP, you're like, what in the God's green earth is wrong with this man? Right? When you get them, unless it's your husband or something, then you're probably like, oh, how nice, thank you, But when it's not, you're like, what in the actual? But that's what Ernie Perez said. I'll link his video, okay, so you can see it. But I don't know about that advice. To me, it seems a little aggressive. Okay, that's an aggressive behavior. You don't got to do all that. You don't. If you guys or girls, if you're into somebody and they're your friend and you find yourself in that friend zone, and you don't want to be. You want to date them. You want a possible relationship with them, and you want to know. You know what? Put down your pride and let's get it out there. Get it out there. Find out. I mean, maybe don't do it in a public setting. I've done that before. A couple times, a couple times, a couple times. You know what I'm saying, people, right? When the moment feels right, you're just like, oh, I like them. I'm just gonna just blurt it all out and just, blurt and just turn it up high and, oh my goodness, boop, 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 abort mission. Don't do it. Don't. Oh, especially don't do it publicly because, I don't know. Once it's there, it's there. But we're humans, right? What can you say? We've all done it. It's okay. I think it's an ego thing too. You have to bring down your ego. Nobody wants to feel rejected. It's not a good feeling that you're not good enough or not pretty enough or not handsome enough or not enough of whatever, skinny enough, voluptuous and whatever it is. Nobody wants to ever feel like they're not enough. You don't want to ever feel rejected. And God didn't make us to feel rejected. He accepts us and loves us. So that's where we get that. We want to feel like that. That's normal. So I understand, you know, but no DPs, don't do that. Just girls and guys, just be on it. Put yourself out there. Ask, mention it, and you'll be able to get the vibe. They're either going to say yay or nay. Okay. And if they kind of lead you on, or if they don't have a solid answer, that's a nay. None of this. Oh, I don't know if they do. No, you'll know. You'll know. Don't send DPs. And go on group dates too, because this can work in your favor. My piece of advice that I learned from my place of worship. Then you'll know because people in the group, if the guy or girl really likes you back, they're going to tell the other people in the group, and that's how you can know, right? And it'll be, they'll do it in a way, because then their friend will come up and tell you, hey, such and such really likes you. They like you, and then you can be like, then you can take it upon yourself, yay or nay. If you like them back, perfect. If you don't, okay, well, now's the time you better mention it to that person, or you better mention it to your friend. Your friend will go back and tell them, I don't like them like that. Please, oh, no, thank you. Oh my gosh, I didn't know they liked me, but no. Okay? So make sure you're in tune, though. Because I've had that happen, too, where sometimes friends or family members mean well, and they encourage the person to like you when you don't like them back, and that can be, but drop the ego and just say what you mean what you say. All right, what else? So time is valuable. Respect it, right? Respect yourselves. Respect your time. Respect the time of others. Thank you for spending this time with me. We're at an hour and 15 minutes, so I'm going to let you go because this is a lot. Okay, so what's the conclusion? Yay or nay? Can guys and girls be friends? I say yay, but only if it's not too close of a relationship, okay? Because sometimes it can be inappropriate, blurred lines, and it can be risky. Very risky. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I hope you learned something today. And be careful when you're choosing friends and dating partners. 6 degrees. Remember, everybody knows somebody by 6 degrees of separation. So choose your people carefully. All right. What else did I want to tell you? La da 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 da. No, that was it. No more. You know the spiel. Hit like and subscribe if you liked it. That way it's free to subscribe, and also if you hit that little bell, that'll give you alerts every time I release a new video. So I will be releasing videos every Saturday. It was every Friday, but now it's going to be every Saturday. Okay, it's free to subscribe. You can always unsubscribe if you find out you don't like this type of stuff. But I've always got new information. I'm always researching, so there's always new information to share. Okay, so this weekend I'm actually working on 2 books. It's already Sunday, but I'm working on 2 books, really good ones, really good ones. I think I'm going to do a review. Okay, so stay tuned for that. One of them is on making business deals and what goes into the whole process. It's really simply written, and I think the person, I think they know what they're talking about. I get that impression. So we'll see. It's quite an undertaking when you're reviewing a book, because first of all you have to read it, and then you have to reread it, and then you have to read it again, so that you make sure that you're making all the points that the book brought out. But we'll see. All right, in the meantime, I thank you for spending this time with me, and you know the spiel. I always say, do your research, right? And God loves us all. God loves us and never has us feeling abandoned or rejected. Okay, so love yourself and others. God loves us. All right? And maybe put in the notes, put in the comment section, yay or nay. What do you think? Can guys and girls be friends? Yay or nay? So you figure it out. Do your research. God loves us. Okay, happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Thank you.